in the watch the game out, and you was sat in here and you went on drive like a donut, saying that Chelsea are going to win. I've come in, walked into the studio, and you were sat there, head in hands, going, Ziyech.
Oh, mate, honestly, don't
put us in. Are you all right?
There is. Look, today was there's only one performance we put in this season. That's against your mob, right?
And you still didn't win.
No, and there's reasons why we didn't win, and we can go into it, and but the truth is that's the best performance of the season, right? We've had one, and that can't carry on. Today's performance was
shocking.
Yeah, I mean.
Come on. Listen, I know you work for Chelsea. I know they're your team. You don't want to pick your team out. Come on, mate. Don't sit on the fence. They're absolute disgrace.
We were dreadful
for the money
tonight.
you spent.
We were. Yeah, look, today's performance, right? If this was Abramovich in charge now, the rhetoric would be he's going to lose his job, he's going to struggle, and that rhetoric will continue because it's Chelsea. But I don't know what the owner's like, Bowley. We don't know how they're going to run the company, right? So as is. But forget that for the time being. Let's just talk about tonight's performance. Substandard, nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near it. A mile away from it. All over the pitch. The goal we conceded, really dreadful. Really dreadful. I mean, look, let's give them some credit. If you ever want to see a team play how to play a 5-4-1 when you go one up, they would. We could be here till now, and this time tomorrow, we're never going to score. Lack of creativity, lack of genuine belief, lack of genuine idea, know-how. It was dull. It was uninspiring. It was a really, really, really tough watch. Really tough watch. And it's hard to watch that group of players, that talented group of players, look like that they are underperforming. They're underperforming, and by some distance. That's not the Chelsea that I'm used to seeing. That's not that side. A lot of that side won the Champions League with that manager, right? And that's a team we should be beat. We should not be getting beat by them tonight.
I mean,
and
no disrespect to Dynamos. I mean, you got beat by a team called Dynamo.
Good team, mate. Good.
I used to play for a Sunday League team called Sutton Dynamos. You're getting beat by them. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, that's
You've had the biggest fall from grace ever.
Well, we haven't fallen yet. We're on our way down right
now.
You
are falling.
Well,
you're in free fall.
I mean, I've been here before too many times as a Chelsea fan, right? I've been here too many times. We need to find something now, right? And there needs to be some decisions made.
It's called a new manager.
Well, who knows what will happen? Who knows? Historically, Chelsea have not been afraid to make the big decisions, right? The big calls. I don't want to see Tuchel go. Look, there's too much money been spent right now. The window only shut last Thursday. He needs to be given a bit more time to get this team playing. But this season, and forget the transfer window, this season, our performance have been substandard. Substandard. There's no getting away from it. We managed to get a win against Everton. Really, they deserve something out of that game, right? Yep. Well beaten at Leeds. Well beaten at Southampton. We played you boys off the park for a good 70 minutes. Should have won the game. Didn't. Who else we played? Who else we been beaten by? West Ham at the weekend.
Slide them up.
West Ham at the weekend.
Should have got something from it.
Yeah, we got out of jail against West Ham. These are not the performances. And these are not the results, and not what Chelsea expect. Now, when you spend as much money as when the transfer, results have to improve, right? There is still time. We'll see how the next 2-3 weeks go. But that time, there can't be too many of those performances and those defeats. We've got another one.
Well, how long's he got? How long's he got?
Well, no, we got another Champions League game next week. We've got Fulham away, right? The games will come thick and fast this season because of the World Cup, right? And we will see exactly what happens over the next. Football can change. United's fortunes change like that, right? Football can turn around, especially in a season when the games come so thick and fast. But I've got to tell you, too many back-to-back like that, and the speculation, the rhetoric, and what will be rife all over the back pages and on here is going to be about Tuchel's future. He's been in the game long enough for two of you and I. I'm not stupid. He's not stupid. But the players have got to take some responsibility as well. Some of those players' performance tonight were just. Gee, I mean, come on. Some of these lads that I saw tonight, they are just way off it, way off it, right? And that can't continue. That cannot continue. That is miles from what's expected from a Chelsea player. Miles from what's expected from winning Premier Leagues, Club World Cups, Champions League, Super Cups. This is a club that historically, the last 18 months, every 18 months for the last 20 years, Chelsea win a trophy. Every 18 months, there or thereabouts, Chelsea win a trophy. That team right now, miles off it. Miles off it.
Well, have you say 03717 223344. Just on the other games, Jace, I know we've watched them as well. We watched Haaland get 2 goals again. They demolished Sevilla 4-0. I mean, this guy is just...
Yeah, I mean, you look at Chelsea and look where City are. I mean, it's you can't compare the two right now.
No.
That's a team and a unit that are absolutely well-oiled. They've got... I mean, what is he up to? What is he? What is he? He's
a machine.
He is. He's
a machine.
Oh,
are we looking at someone who's going to break every goal-scoring record that we've seen in the Premier League?
Every chance. There's not, right now, the only thing I can think of that the only reason he won't is if he picks up injuries. You know, if they I noticed they pulled him off.
They only got to play 70 minutes. They take him off.
Well, they pulled him off after 70 minutes, right? And they can do that because he's got himself 2 goals. Scored a hat-trick of the week, too. Sorry, scored 1 at the weekend. Hat-trick before that. He's notching up goals. He's notching up goals like teams notch up corners. Isn't he?
He's absolutely. He's taking a mick out of everyone. It is a joke. The tap-ins as well, just always in the 6-yard box.
He's like a magnet. He is. He's a magnet to the... How can you leave a player like that in so much space? But you often hear, as a football parlance, good players always find themselves in space.
Yeah.
And he finds himself in acres.
Tap-ins for fun. Celtic got beat 3-0 in the end by Real Madrid. They started well, Celtic. Yeah. Should have got in front. All over Real Madrid in the first 20 minutes. But cream rises to the top. Yeah,
and you know, they had to weather the storm. I think they would have expected that. I think the Celtic fans would have been delighted with what they saw. Hit the post on another day that goes in, the game changes completely.
Oh, they had so many good chances.
You know, and then all of a sudden, Real Madrid just kind of do. You saw why they're the champions of Europe now, right?
Yeah.
That's what they do. They're a team with top quality players and performing. Don't need top quality players. Chelsea have got that, but not performing. Real Madrid have got them right now, and they are performing.
Yeah, well, Celtic fans, if you're getting in your car and you want to have your sound tonight's game, I bet the atmosphere is unbelievable there. 03717 223344. Let's go to Danny, who's a Chelsea fan. Danny, good evening.
All right, Danny boy.
Hiya, Jamie. Hiya, Jason. How's things?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm in a great mood, Dan. I'm in a great mood. Seeing Jason Cundy sweat as he walks in the studio.
No good, Dan. No good, matey.
No, Jason, where do we start? The performance of Hakim Ziyech. That has to be the worst 30 minutes in a Chelsea shirt I've seen from any player.
Were you there when Cuadrado made his debut?
One springs to mind, Bakayoko away to Watford.
Yeah, away to Watford.
Jason Cundy, do you remember that one?
Listen, let's talk. Look. Ziyech, he's not doing what we saw at Ajax. Nowhere near it. And he's not alone, by the way, Danny. See, I wasn't happy with his performance, but I think right now, so here's where I point the finger, collectively, and I point the finger at the players, the staff, the managers, everyone, because everyone took the plaudits when we won the Champions League, when the Club World Cup and the Super Cup. Everyone was happy to get the pat on the back, and rightly so. Collectively, right now, nowhere near it. Individually, miles off it.
Jason, can I ask your opinion at the minute with Mason Mount? I think he's getting away with a lot.
Well, like I said, no one right now, I'm trying to think of someone that's... Reece James has probably been...
Walk away.
And I think Chilwell has done well when he's played. Thiago Silva's been magnificent. If that goal don't get scored, if Thiago Silva plays, but he's 38.
Yeah, we can't be relying on a 38-year-old.
So right now, those three are the ones that you look at and go, have done, you know, can hold their head up. Other than that, I'm not going to point the fingers individually. Sterling's done okay in patches, but individually, collectively, nowhere near it. No, because it's not fair. It's not fair. I'm pointing at all of them.
We look so soft in the middle of the park without Kante. We had one like that performance this evening. Just should we be surprised at that performance so far?
Do you know what the sad thing is, Danny? Not really. Not after what I've seen this season. No. There's been a pattern emerging, isn't there? There's a pattern emerging, and that pattern is, and I've seen it before at Chelsea, where results go and performances start to dip, and the levels that have been expected and achieved, because they've been so high, when they drop, the drop off is enormous. Yeah, and right now, that's what you're seeing.
There's no middle line. They've gone so high to so low, and listening to Thomas Tuchel, the end of that game. He looks a beaten man.
Dan, would you get rid of him? Dan, do you think his time's coming to an end? How long's he got?
I wouldn't get rid of him. I think I'm a massive fan of his, but
I think he's a class act.
Yeah, he's a great manager, but there's problems. I feel like he's sort of losing the dressing room a little bit. There's players there that don't want to be there. Clearly, like Pulisic, we want to move on. Ziyech. I think there's problems there, but I'm not. I'd like to give him more time to see if he can turn it around. Mm-hmm. I'm really worried with Fulham. Mitrovic, he's going to have a field day, I think.
Well, we'll see.
I'm quite worried. I think it could be 2 or 3.
So don't think that's a game now, right? The game now that if you're Fulham, you're watching that thinking we can get stuck into Chelsea. Fulham are starting the season well. Saturday morning 12. They're live on TalkSport.
Exactly. There you go.
Live on TalkSport.
Live on TalkSport. Let's go to Paul, who's a Chelsea fan. All right, Paul.
Right, boys, how's it going?
Oh, I'm in a great mood, Paul. I'm in a great mood.
Yeah, I know you
Chelsea are crumbling at the seams.
It feels like he's won the Premier League.
He's got that bus again. He's got the open top bus ready.
Talk me through it, Paul.
Say, like, the thing is, I think you just mentioned it now, Jason. We've had this drop off. We had it under Conte. I remember it under Conte when we went to that back 5 against Arsenal. We were 3-0 down. We came back. We won the league, and then that dropped off the season after. Di Matteo, exactly the same. They've all had this drop offs. But to be fair, with Roman, like they would have never lasted throughout it. I'd quite like to see how TT gets on. But this season, the way we've started, it's reminded me a little bit of Arsenal last season. We seem to have lost an identity. Like, we don't know where the ball's going. And I just wanted to get your opinion on that. I spoke to you boys after the first game, and I said, if we play like that every game this season, I'll be happy, no matter what. And we haven't turned up. We've literally just not even turned up. The only game they seem to have turned up to was that Spurs game. So I don't know how. And I love TT, and I love the way he reacts.
Well, that's what he's getting paid for. That's his job now, right? Like I said, took a lot of the plaudits and was lauded, and rightly so, and rewarded with a new contract for winning the Champions League in his first 6 months at the club. That was a big moment in Chelsea's history, and he got us to finals. He has been so far a brilliant manager for us, right? But now. Different set of rules, different set of scenarios. He has now got to get these players in a team and performing. He's still got to get Aubameyang. He's still got to get Wesley Fofana. He's still got a little bit of time to get the players he's got into a team, into a formation, and putting in good performance, getting results. He's still got time, but I don't know how much. There's got to be a quick turnaround.
You've got to see a reaction, haven't you? You have to see some form of reaction to that early on, like. And like you say with Hakim, he just doesn't seem to be bothered. The only player who seems bothered is Reece. Mace he loves running about, and I love Mace, but his drop off is when he drops off, it's incredible. When he's great, and it is difficult, but you just got to want to see him try. And like you said, without Thiago, I mean, where would we be?
Paul, what do you make of Koulibaly's come in? He looks a bit shaky.
But then, I think I said to someone before, like, the way Trev Chalobah started last season, he started more solid than Koulibaly. So what's happened to Trev? It's a bit... I don't know, really. Do you know what I mean? It just seems, like I said about Arsenal, you remember Arsenal, beginning of last season, everyone was at Arteta. They had no real sort of, like, there was no sort of, what they looked like was what we're looking like now. It's just strange, really.
See, the thing is that football's so reactionary, right? And you can hear in my voice now I feel right now.
I love it. It's good to see.
But it isn't just tonight. It's the season, right? This is not just me going on. Every step, there can be bad performances, and you can forgive them. Right now, there's a pattern emerging. Lacklustre in front of goal, not creating chances, conceding goals. We look vulnerable from set pieces. We look so vulnerable. There are a lot of things all over the pitch right now which aren't right. It isn't just one thing, and it's not just one game.
Right, when Chelsea have been at their best with Thomas Tuchel, what is their identity? When you look at that Chelsea team, how do you play?
Defensively, incredibly solid. Incredibly. Teams couldn't break us down.
No.
Teams couldn't get behind us. Couldn't create enough chances. That was why we won the Champions League. The three and and N'Golo Kante was incredibly important. Of course he was, but it was the unit, the way the unit was set up, right? And because when we won the Champions League, we didn't have an out-and-out number 9. We didn't have one. right? That's when Havertz had to play out.
Yeah.
So we had to play it a slightly different way. Now he's now been given more tools. Was given Lukaku, was given, okay, Werner was already there. Have to try and play in a different way. And that adapted from being a defensive unit because we didn't have the players to go and win the game. We would win games 1-0. We were on the Champions League final 1-0. That's what we were doing at teams. Now we've got to be more expansive. We've got to be, because the players that he's got, the players that at his disposal.
I know, but when you become more expensive, you've done it with Frank Lampard, you got beat.
There's the problem. That's it. Being more expensive, being a little bit more open. The wing-backs are perhaps playing a little bit more, given a bit more of a free licence, although Reece and Chile played in that situation in the Champions League final. But as a unit, defensively, that was the base in which he built it upon. Now, he needs to be built more because of the money we've spent and the players that we've been brought in, the players that he's got. Has to be. Now you got Over up top, right? You brought him in.
Yeah.
You got other players in there, in and around, to create more chances. And it's the balance, right? There's no balance between defensively being solid, creating chances in front of goal. All of it right now, there's no joined up thinking. There's your problem.
Oh, it's great to see. It's great to see Jason Gundy sweating, angry, red face, veins popping out.
Yeah, and because it matters. It matters. And this is a football club, like I said, that are used to achieving the biggest things in the game. And when that drop-off comes, it can be rapid, it can be painful.
Yeah. Right, keep your call coming in. We want to hear from you. Have your say. Chelsea, Man City, Celtic fans, get involved. 03 717 22 33 55.